welcome to episode 64 of the Family Based Pod. My name is Jake. I see you mouthing the words. Thank you. If you are listening, yeah, exactly. That's the point. If you are listening, please subscribe, rate the podcast wherever you're listening. That helps other people find us. If you are watching, hit the like button, subscribe, comment, do all that stuff that you know what to do. People say all the time. And make sure to follow us on Instagram and TikTok, bottom right hand corner of the video. Or if you're listening, just listen for the handle right now. The handle is Family Bases Pod. Family Based Pod. Go there, check us out on Instagram, TikTok. All right, so before the episode, Dallas and I decided that we wanna make sure that the inducting someone into family is a little bit more special feeling than every week. So what we have decided, without Ben's consulting, by the way, we have decided that we're going to do induction into the family on the first episode of the month. So that would mean there is no new family member of the episode or family member of the podcast this episode. So the only one that got in this month is the rapper Fat Joe. So I just make that point. All right, so we're going to go right over that. Let's just jump right into it. So we're gonna talk about specifically two teams, baseball teams in Chicago. Usually try not to only focus on Chicago teams, but today we'll go Cubs and Sox because
speaking of Cubs and Sox, I have had this fucking baseball for over 20 years, and it's signed by so many Cubs. It was when I got to be the bat boy, and the fucking dog chewed it. What an asshole.
List some names that were on that baseball.
Mark Grace. Need I say more? Need I say more?
No, but go ahead.
Steve Riggleman. I think Lance Johnson's on here.
Yeah.
Can't really read that one. I can't read any of them anymore. It's all messed up. Steve Riggleman. You remember him? The manager?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. That's him right there. Under that tooth mark.
Nice.
Yeah.
It looks great.
Most of Steve is bit off. So that's fun. That's such a cool momentum to have now.
I mean, it's something. That's all. That's all I'll say. All right, so we will start with the Cubs, and I'm going to warn you. I think this is stupid that we even have to have this conversation because it's not a conversation. I don't know why people are bringing it up, but I was looking at the Cubs Bleach Nation, and this conversation came up. It says David Ross names the fifth starter contenders, and he lists off some names I think are really good names, but if you think about it, I can go down a list of Mark Stroman, number 1, Kyle Hendricks, number 2, Drew Smiley, James Talion, number 3 and 4, and then you have Justin Steele at 5. But all these names that they're bringing up, I'm like, they are all worthy of being brought up in this conversation. But I'm just like, well, we have a starting 5. I don't know why we're even discussing this anymore. Again, if you are listening this far, listen to on Friday. We have a special episode where Jake Carmel, a good friend of mine, we actually have a deep dive into the Cubs, and we actually bring this up and talk about it a little bit. So this Friday, Jake Carmel and I have. It's almost 2 hours long. So that's how much we get into with the Cubs.
Buckle up and deal with it.
So Dallas, I know before the podcast, I'm not going to say exactly what you said, but
it's a little risque.
what's your thoughts on this reporting of these names being floated?
The player, I don't know any of them. So.
I mean,
I know
it's hard to blame you.
Are they people we grew up with?
No.
Then I don't know them. So
yeah,
good for them.
The longest tenured baseball player on the Cubs is Kyle Hendricks.
Oh,
Kyle Hendricks is 33, and Kyle Hendricks has been on the team since, I think, mid to late 2014. Everyone else is brand new.
Well, yeah. After they got rid of Contreras, I mean, that got rid of most. Like that was like the last player that I really knew anything about. I mean, other than I guess Hendricks. But okay, that's great. I mean, cool. I mean, it's just a clean slate. That's shit. Also, just a testament to my not knowing much about the modern roster. But yeah, the Cubs need to spend money, man. Like, why are you playing small franchise baseball? I feel like we touch on this every other episode. Like, you're one of the biggest markets in sports, probably.
They are the fourth highest grossing franchise in baseball.
And that's disgusting. That they're playing like they have the cap wherewithal of Oakland. Or Cincinnati, dude. Like, can you imagine actually being a diehard Cincinnati fan? Like, not only do you suck, but you don't have the money to not suck. The Cubs suck by choice, as it seems. So it's like, what are you doing? Like, you just either do it or don't. Like, at least the Mets. I mean, I'll shit talk a Mets fan as much as we can because they keep blowing this shit. But it's like, at least they're trying. Like, and you can visibly see that they're trying to buy a fucking World Series for their fans, and it's just not panning out. The Cubs, it's like, you'll be here anyway.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. You know, well, I guess I'll ask you the question of, if you are curious, Dallas, just like anyone listening or watching, into the prospects, into the future of the Cubs. I mean this genuinely. I'm not trying to hype up the conversation, but Jay Carmel and I spend quite a bit of time talking about the pitching. We go down almost every single name, pitching in their prospects, the lineup, the depth chart. So the question I'll ask is, would you rather them spend, let's say, an additional $200 million for 4 years, or would you rather have young guys come up? I know you can say both. But if you had to pick one, would you rather go Mets or would you rather try to build up and build a team, sadly, like the Astros have done? Would you rather see it like fast or kind of build up?
Guess I would just just do it. Like, just make it happen. I don't I mean, it's always cool to see a team grow into something great, but also it's cool just to win sometimes.
Cubs fans don't know that.
No, so it would be nice to just fucking win. So just do it. Like, we're tired of the seasons of L's. Like, just treat the faithful.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. But I will bring up, I will say this pretty quick. Based on the article that I read, the Cubs aren't looking for a fifth starter. they're looking for an optional 6, then all those things are great. But the Cubs have 5. Whether anyone knows they're 5, that's something different. But they have 5. But the question I'll bring to you then is, in this next off season, we thought last off season was nuts with the lockout, and this off season that we just had huge contracts. Next off season, Shohei Ohtani potentially will be a free agent, and now Manny Machado is reporting that he will opt out of the rest of his contract. So, would you rather have the Cubs go on and do that? Because
yes,
they're both gonna ask for $400 million.
You know what that means?
At least
the Cubs are paying $1 billion for 2 players. Let's just bask in that absurd fucking number, and B, do it. I don't care. Do it. Pay your tax. Pay your fucking taxes. Your cat tax. I don't care, because they made a lot of money. They have the money. I believe it. I don't know if they do or not, but somebody stat check me. Anybody? All right. Well, as of right now, I believe that the Cubs have the kind of money to pay the 2 players an absurd amount of money. So just do it. Fuck it. I mean, are they quality players, Jakes? As somebody that knows baseball pretty well.
Yes.
So adding them to your roster, are they toxic players?
No.
And sign the fuck out of them. Give them whatever they want, and then give them a herd of sheep and goats.
I don't know how that came up, but yes.
Probably from The Last of Us. I just watched that yesterday. It was good.
Episode 6?
The latest one?
Yeah, they were talking about sheep.
Yeah, there you go. Sheep, and they had some cows, I think.
At the end of the episode, Pedro Pascal was stabbed.
Yes. So, spoiler alert. Hope nobody's going to watch later.
Crazy.
Jeez, you got to disclaim.
Let me guess. He won't die. I mean,
have you played the video?
I know he's in it, so that's all.
Or is it his brother looking like him?
That's fair. It's a
close one.
What do you think of that brother casting? This is so random, but
it is. But
in that show, he had the younger brother. What do you think of that casting?
I mean, they don't look much alike, but okay, whatever. Maybe they're half brothers.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know their blood percentage, lineage, whatever.
The one thing I kept thinking about was the younger brother had long, healthy looking, slick back black hair, and his older brother had gray hair. And Joel, Pedro Pascal was looking kind of rough.
Yes.
I don't know the age difference, but it looked pretty drastic.
15 years.
Yeah, looked like it. All right, so the second story comes out of the south side of the city of Chicago. The White Sox. The White Sox have they made news, but they didn't make news. But a player in their minor league system did make news. Anderson Comás, a minor league pitcher in the White Sox organization. I think it's in rookie ball. He's only 23 years old, but on his Instagram, he came out. And he didn't say if he was, and all he said was that he is happy and proud to be a part of the LGBTQ plus community. He didn't say anything else about it, but he did say that. And then he continued at the very end by saying, "Fight for your dreams, believe in yourself, and go for it." So the one thing I mentioned to you, Dal, was before the episode started that Comás is only the second player in baseball history to come out while he is actively playing baseball.
Yep.
And
Lucky number two.
Yeah, I mean, I'm shocked that it's that low. But what do you think about that? Like this news story?
I mean, it's great. It's great for them. I don't mean to come across crass, but like I don't care. Like I don't think people should care whether or not he's gay or not. Like that's great, good for you. Like, but I think it's cool that he came out in such a public spotlight. Where I still think sports it has some type of stigma about it. So I think that it takes bravery, especially since he hadn't been out already. So it's always such a brave thing to do. But I just don't see why anybody should be scrutinized for it. Like, so I just don't see I don't see this negatively affecting anybody. Like, this is only the positive thing, right? So, I mean, yeah, of course, like, you're going to have, like, those douchebags that are probably going to still be ignorant and say hurtful things and probably try to slide into someone's DMs and just to spew hate. But, like, we shouldn't, like, at this point in where our society is, we shouldn't care. Like, this shouldn't be a big deal. But it is because it takes the bravery, and I respect that. That's awesome.
Yeah, you said it should not, and the one thing I would say is that, unfortunately for baseball, I think we can speak on this a little bit in the fact that we played some level of sports as kids, but then also we just know the society in general. Sports can be a place that's very can be discriminatory within the clubhouse. Can ostracize people, can, for whatever the difference might be, just different than the person who chooses to hate or whatever. And the one thing is that he is 23 years old. Apparently, he was an outfield. I'm just learning about this now. Again, I didn't know about a rookie ball pitcher until this news came out. But he was an outfielder. He got scouted out of the DR, and then came over when he was 20.
Probably why he didn't say anything. Hate to generalize, but like Hispanic families.
Yeah. So that's the part of it. I feel like kind of we know a little bit about that, just a tiny bit. But I mean, just I hate to burst the bubble of this is not the show, but of the progressive bubble. But minority families are not as accepting as kind of you may think or hope for. And so he decides to come out at 23 years old while he's playing in a different country, kind of away from his family, probably, and all that. I think as Billy Beane said, Billy Beane now is, again, everyone knows him as he was the GM for the A's. Now he's the Senior Vice President of Diversity, Equity, Inclusion, which I feel like that's just a big way of saying the hard topics. He said, I'm proud of and just encouraging and sharing something so personal with the baseball community. I'm grateful for the White Sox or how they have decided or provide Anderson with acceptance and inclusive environment while allowing him to pursue his dream while being his true and authentic self. I think that's the kind of the takeaway. And I'm not... All right, so this may give me trouble as I'm literally located in the South Side right now. The White Sox organization and fans may not be, as of I'm speaking, the most, in my experience, the most politically correct, loving crowd when it comes to certain issues. And so I hope by the time he comes up, they get to know him as a person. And this won't be, a story. This will just be part of who he is and kind of going forward. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, I mean, good for him that he can kind of say what he believes, and we'll see going forward if we get to mention his name a lot more, and hopefully follow his journey, on the South side.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there's anything more to say on that. You have something?
No. And I'm happy for them. I'm happy for him that he felt comfortable around there, and I hope that I wish nothing but success for him, and I just hope that this becomes like a non-issue thing. Like, I don't think anybody should ever in the world have been judged on it, and or treated differently or held back from making it to the highest level of whatever they're trying to excel at, like baseball in this case. So just best of luck, it's great. Hope, like you said, hope it's a non-issue thing, and let's all just start moving forward together,
Yeah. For sure. All right. So last topic, this may be a short episode. We'll see. Last topic is the NBA All-Star Game was this past weekend. They had the first ever live selection of the teams. LeBron and Giannis were the captains, and they live selected their teams by calling them over, giving them a jersey, all
That's
that.
That's pretty cool, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like pickup. You go to a basketball court, you pick your teams, they get jerseys, or, if it's shirts and skins or whatever it might be, and then they start playing. That's essentially what happened on Sunday. And as someone who's not a huge NBA fan, I think Ben is the biggest one of all of us. But someone who's not a huge NBA fan, but will watch it. I was watching the draft live on my phone because it was so different, so new.
That's cool.
And it was exciting. I mean, granted, I did have to watch it in my closet to not make a lot of noise, but
but
it was new.
And watching TV
on my phone. All right, so and then also this past season, the NFL had their Pro Bowl look very different. They played a lot of childhood games about like throwing water balloons, trying to touch all that, and then they played a short field. I don't think they had pads on. No pads on. And they were playing on 50-yard field, kind of like a kids game.
Yeah, and also like keeping each other safe. Like it's not tackle,
right?
So like they're not going to get hurt. Oh, right. Most
no weird things. And the one thing is, and they also had like a guy who would blitz after a couple seconds. So again, just like us when we were kids, what we were doing.
Yeah, that's cool.
So the thing I bring up is that the MLB All-Star Game is pretty boring in comparison. I mean, even the NHL All-Star Game has a lot of mini games, a lot of fun. They play 3-on-3. They have all this different stuff.
NHL's cool, yeah.
The baseball All-Star Game, beyond the home run derby, which I think is still a lot of fun to watch for sure.
For sure.
They just have the game. I mean, it's just the game. And they play like a real baseball game with all-stars.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure that has to change. Don't you think so?
Well, I think they're gonna have to do something different. um,
Like what are some ideas you got?
like the mini games, like NHL has the fastest shooter. There should be
Yeah.
the. I think we were talking about like the. I think it'd be cool, and they also have the fastest skater. So like maybe home to first, and then
Mm.
like that could be one speed event, and then another would be from home to home. So you have to round the bases, and whoever you can win a little trophy or I don't know medal for probably money for being the fastest around the bases.
Or the charity.
Yeah, that looks
It's
better
better.
for charity.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, that would be cool. Something like that, and there's got to be something with throwing. I think you had a good idea about double plays.
Oh, yeah. One idea I had, just because I think it, for people at home, it'd be fun to watch, but also in the stadium, having something like the coming up with like a couple rounds of like the most creative double plays, and it can be like a 1 through 10 rating, kind of like the dunk contest or something like that, where you come up with creative, fun ways to turn the double play, and I think it'd be fun. I mean, it's something different, you know.
Yeah.
And the MLB used to have catching competitions where they used to throw down to second base and be able to see your accuracy.
Or like that and
That'd be cool.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it would be a lot of fun to see, because I know we can look at stats and be like, oh, this guy has the fastest pop time and this guy has the shortest arm.
Mm-hmm.
But them having to do it live, I think would be pretty fun.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Home Run Derby is a classic. I mean, don't get rid of it. I think people love that.
Yeah.
You mentioned like the bunt contest that they do in Japan. I mean, that'd be pretty neat. I don't think people would pay to see that by itself, but it could be like an intermission show. Like,
right. And you can even have like, I don't know, pitchers do that one, or coaches do.
You know, what would be cool, instead of the celebrity game where they are all playing like the little softball game. I think it's so like cool, lame as fuck. It would be really cool if they did like a or like pros versus Joes, like wiffle ball match or softball. Like that would be cool. Maybe not softball, but like wiffle ball or something. So like normal people that vote for the All-Star Game are entered into a lottery where they can get picked. Like, so they'd be like, I don't know, 9, maybe 10, whatever. If you want to do like softball, like, but and they're picked and given a ticket to play on TV. So like, I don't know. I mean, it would be great for them, and like, it would kind of like show, like maybe they could mix it up and not have like all just pros first Joes, but because they probably get whooped, obviously, but like it would be cool to see like the difference in like, because everybody always shit talks. They're always like, oh, like, what are you doing at the, like, what do you, like, how's he missed that, blah blah blah. Like, it would be awesome getting to see them just get smoked, and it would be really cool as a fan though, because then you, like, even if you look like an asshole, you still get to look like an asshole striking out to anybody, like in the MLB. Like, that would be so cool.
Yeah, true. I mean, they do have professional wiffle ball leagues,
and those are nuts, dude. I've seen them pitching. It's the shit people can do with the wiffle ball.
Yeah,
it's magic, it's sorcery. I can't even understand it.
I mean, so not saying them, but I mean, maybe if you want to start wiffle ball like leagues for kids and stuff. But yeah, it's something to do with fans getting selected to come out and do that. It's that stuff to the very least play on the same field with professionals just for a tiny bit. Not even a full game, but just like, I just something like that would be a lot of fun to see. But the one thing that I thought of was it's based on the video game, so you can probably tell me it's insane. But the MVP baseball franchise had that one mini game where you had to throw the ball, like pitch or like, and you would have to hit like a specific dot, and the highest accuracy would win. I think having something like that, if you even want to have position players doing that, that'd be fun. And they would have to throw the ball over a certain mile per hour,
Sweet.
so they're not lobbing it. There's something to do with that. I mean, you can even have the top MLB The Show players like come out there and actually play like with the guys or something like that to kind of integrate the video games in real life. I don't know, something they gotta do something. I mean, admittedly, the baseball All-Star Game now looks so boring compared.
100%. And the bat thing.
I mean,
maybe like having them instead of being AL, NL, like they could kind of do what the NBA did, right? And have two captains from the MLB. Like it doesn't need to be one from AL, one from NL. Just be two really good players that are like globally recognized or at least nationally recognized. And then they can meet at home plate or at the mound, and like somebody puts the baseball bat out, and one guy grabs the bottom, and then they like stack up to the top, and whoever gets to the top of the hand, gets first pick. Like that'd be neat.
Yeah, I mean, the one boring thing about the NBA doing that, and I love Ernie Johnson. I think he's a good host, but I'm like, they had Ernie Johnson in between with LeBron and Giannis. I'm like, don't have anyone out there if it's baseball. Just have them pick super fast because you have a lot of players. Be like him, and just call them out. And they can wear their regular team uniforms, so they don't have to get a special jersey.
Well, yeah, 'cause it's not like basketball where you're all like playing really close to each other. It's literally the pitcher and the batter, and if you don't know who's on your team, you're a little fucked. Like you probably missed a couple days when you first started a T-ball. So
yeah. I mean, the live picking would be fun. I mean, just something.
Yeah.
I feel like they have to at least add a game or mini game every year or something, and limited to a certain amount, limited to like 5 or something, but make it a little bit more fun.
Something.
I do love the mic'd up whenever they have the players on field with a microphone, having that. For the audience at home watching, it's always fun to have your favorite players mic'd up. But maybe have the whole team mic'd up and
that's dangerous,
talk. I'm just saying, talking to each other on the field and all that stuff. I don't know. I mean, something. Yeah, try something. Yeah, so that kind of wraps up the topics I had in mind. Do you have something else you want to bring up? Any Last of Us talk or
wanted to say happy birthday to our host and anchor, Jacob Gonzalez. Dun, 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 dun.
Thank you. We're all co-hosts.
Speech.
Sure. Speech. Thank you.
Speech.
That's it.
Wow.
That's all. That's the whole speech.
Wow.
Thank you very much. I appreciate
Work
it.
on it.
I know.
Well, no, we're going to try again next week. Work on it.
If there is a word that describes me, whack is a good one.
Wow.
Whack.
Okay.
Just saying.
Masochist. All right, settle down. Don't be calling yourself names.
I mean, you said that, so
Don't put words in my mouth.
All right, I won't. All right, so next week we will actually record in February, but it will come out March 1st. So next week we will have a new family member in the honorary family. So Dallas, it will be your turn.
Who's
you
it
put
gonna
off.
be? Who's it gonna be?
Yeah, Dallas' turn. You got a week
Taking
to figure it out.
applications, taking bribes, taking whatever you're interested in sending. Hit me up in the DMs for the ad.
You heard him go. DM and figure it out.
To my P.O. box,
right.
Weirdos. You're not getting my home address for those strangers.
P.O.
What do you think this is?
You
Can't be getting.
You don't have a.
I can't be getting serial killed. Okay, not yet.
Serial killed.
Yeah, or stopped.
You just. Dallas, that was the most Chicago way to answer that. I got stalked.
Nobody wants that.
Stalk.
Maybe someone does, but not me.
All right. We will see you guys next week. Thank you guys for listening to episode 64 of the Family Based Pod. My name's Jake.
My name is Miguel. Senor Hunt.
It's always something. All right. We'll see you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Hey, I'm Eden. Thanks for watching this episode of my dad's podcast. Check out the links in the description to follow the podcast on TikTok, Instagram, and the other social media. Make sure you like and subscribe and hit the bell to let you know when there's a new episode. Thanks for watching or listening. Bye.